Eric here again with Thrifty Survivor, and I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to our Thrifty Survivor YouTube channel. Now what we're going to be doing today is a little bit different. I said that the last few times, I think, a little bit different. But this is going to be kind of a versus. What I'm going to do is kind of talk about the comparison between a hydration pack or a hydration bladder and canteens. And pros and cons, if there are any. That was just the neighbors shooting. So, I don't know if you heard that on camera, but we sure did. Anyway, basically just going to talk about the pros and cons. I do have a preference, and I think you'll gather that here shortly. But what I've got here is a little hydration pack that I picked up on Amazon. And I'm going to stand up, and I don't know if I'm out of view. I'm going to move the chair out of the way here because I'm going to throw this on. And what I like about this is, number one, is it frees your hands. You just throw it on. And it's got a little bit of a sternum strap here, if I could find it, which in this case actually has a little whistle on it. Okay, it works. Anyway, sternum strap. I can figure out how to get that in there without opening my eyes. Anyway, now, okay, as you can see, I got everything out of the way. Got some pouches here. Now, on this one down here, if it were me, now I don't have it all full at this point, but I would probably use this kind of as my medical pouch on the bottom, IFAC, whatever. What I've done on the top, if I want to use this all by itself, and let's just say I'm going to carry a rifle, I've got rifle magazines up here in the top. And that's what I do, and I've actually got extra ammo in there. So this little hydration pack has plenty of room. It'll contain up to a 3-liter bladder. And it came with the bladder. And I'm trying to remember what the price was, but it was under $30, I believe. Now I'll leave a link below so you can take a look at it. But it came with the bladder. And what I like about the bladder is you can actually, it came with, you know, the bite valve and everything, of course. You can remove the bite valve just like that. You can replace it if something goes awry. You know, let's just say you wore it out or whatever, you drank a ton. Anyway, it's got a little cover here, which your basic military type of bite valve. And what I like about hydration packs or bladders, now I used to race bicycles, and when I went on my solo training rides, I used one of these. Same thing, same concept. I don't have the bladder in it right now, but the bladder, you know, just worked kind of like this, except it didn't have the cover on it. Anyway, it freed up the hands. I was able to carry up to 3 liters in this, and it was the same concept. These days, I know a lot of people that have been around a while, like myself, are familiar with canteens. Military, that's basically what used to be issued, was canteens. These days, they're using bladder packs or hydration packs, hydration bladders, whatever. Some of them are incorporated in a rucksack or backpack, whatever. Some of them are completely autonomous. This one here would be one of those autonomous ones that, I mean, you can throw this on with something else. One thing I like about this is, obviously, I'm not going to be able to throw a sidearm on here or magazines where I can access them. What I could do, though, is I can get one of these belts, or cummerbunds, as some of them call them. I could throw this on with it. So I can figure out how to do this. Okay. All right. It's a little bit hard to... Now, if I had been planning this ahead of time, I would have had the belt on first because it's trying to go on over the hydration pack. Anyway, put that out. All right. So now I've got my hydration pack, got my sidearm, got some magazines here. I could throw some others over here. So, you know, if it just really depends on what your setup is, what your goal is. Now, obviously, if you're going out on like a 7-day trek, you might want a backpack, like a 65-liter, you know, backpack, something like that. And a lot of those will be able to contain a bladder. Problem with those is they're bulky. More times than not, you're going to not need all that. Plus, I have seen very few backpacks where you can actually throw a sidearm on at the same time, throw some magazines on there. You can do that with this system. Now, chest rigs also are another option. And I haven't done actually, I think I did do a review on that. It was like a couple videos ago. But anyway, what I personally feel the advantages of a bladder are is it frees up your hands. There's multiple ways that they can be used. They can be thrown directly into a backpack. Some of your chest rigs will also have a bladder pouch in the back, and you can use them on the chest rigs. Some of your chest rigs also are modular in the sense that you can actually attach a bladder pack to the back of them. But in any case, your hands are free. Water, when you're thirsty, you just pop the lid, bite down on the bite valve, and you're good to go. If you're in a situation where you're occupied, and I'll just throw this this in. Let's just suppose that you're kind of patrolling a parameter somewhere, and you got your weapon in your arm. It's going to be a little bit difficult to grab a canteen. Let's just suppose you got to keep your eyes on the sides or behind the scope, and you're trying to drink water. That might be kind of difficult. Piece of cake with this, you just pop the lid. In fact, you can keep the lid popped if you're in one of those situations. It's just a matter of keep your eye on there, you know, so you don't have to distract yourself in any way. Now, I said this was going to be a versus bladder pack versus canteens. I'm trying to think of advantages to canteens. Well, there may be some. One, now these canteens happen to be made out of plastic, but some of your canteens are actually made out of metal. And if you happen to have metal canteens, you can use those to boil water in, basically to sterilize the water. You're not going to do that in a bladder. You throw that bladder into the fire, well, you know what's going to happen. It ain't going to turn out good. That is an advantage. Now, one thing that a lot of people such as myself do these days is I carry around a filter, some kind of a filtering system for my water, so I can pull that out of a lake. I don't have to boil it. Also, if you're carrying a mess kit, that's not an issue. However, some of your canteens are actually set up to where you've got your mess kit all wrapped in to the canteen. And those tend to be made out of metal. If that's the case, that's probably about the only advantage I could think of with canteens. So there is a slight advantage there. But again, personally, I would just prefer have the bladder and have a little mess kit with me. Now, another difference here, I'm going to get rid of this for now, and I'm going to remove this, and kind of show you something here. Now, with your canteens, traditionally they're going to be set up something like this, and you just basically, you know, it's pretty simple. Throw it on around your waist. You got your canteens back here. And you can throw some gear here, but let's suppose you got an IFAC, an individual first aid kit, a medical kit, or something that you want to carry with you. You got 2 canteens here dedicating some space on here, occupying some real estate on your belt. You can't use that space for anything but your canteens. Now you can throw something back here and something here and here. The advantage to this is that space is just basically it's on your back. Now I'm actually pretty short. I stand 5'4", and I'll be honest with you, this is a little bit long for me because that kind of goes a little bit over the cummerbund here on the back, but I can still use it. Most guys that are say 5'10" or so, that's not going to be an issue at all, and it's a very minor issue if at all. Anyway, now that's my opinion. Now what I happen to like about this particular hydration pack is it's also got the MOLLE webbing on there. And the cushions here are designed to where it's going to basically keep you cool, pretty much. Very, very well built, actually. And like I said, I'll leave a link for it, but you've got a pouch here. Let's see here. And I'm going to kind of show you inside. I mean, this, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got some compartments here that can easily make this usable as a medical kit, or your serve as an IFAC. You got a little, what do you call these things? Do you know? Clip. That you can hang keys on there, a flashlight or whatever. Anyway, long story short, you've got some space there that can be used for whatever. And most of your hydration packs are going to have at least one pouch in the back. Some of them don't have any. Your minimalist ones may not, but most of them are going to have some kind of a way that you can throw some things in the back. So that's additional space that you don't get with this system. And in fact, everything on here would take up pretty much all the rest of real estate that you got on here. And that's not to mention when you've got an additional cummerbund. So anyway, that's my thought on this. What I like about this is I can throw this on real quick. This is really easy to throw on. It doesn't weigh a ton. Some of your backpacks are kind of hard to throw on. It's kind of a different purpose, but I don't know, John, is there anything else I should cover on this? It was basically just a versus. Like I said, this came with everything, and I'll throw a link for y'all because I really thought this was a good deal. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching, and if you like what you saw here today, please share, like, or give us a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to help contribute to our website, to our YouTube channel, you might want to check out our website. It's thriftysurvivor.com, and the reason I mention that is it kind of helps us out because Amazon does give us a kickback off of items that are purchased off of our website or through the links. You don't even have to go to our website if you don't want to, but if you'd like to check out this, and I'll throw maybe a few little other items, magazine pouches or whatever, but any purchases made off of that, it helps us out, and if we get a little kickback, helps us bring more videos like this to you. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching, and until next time, y'all be safe. Bye for now.